5:30 to election 2024, and Governor Ron DeSantis kicking off his presidential campaign blitz of early primary states today. Governor DeSantis is hedging his 2024 success in the GOP primary field by focusing on Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. He hopes that early victories there will build momentum and show Republicans there's a serious alternative to former President Donald Trump. While the governor stumps, his super PAC, Never Back Down, says it's going to keep up the pressure on the ground.
We've already door knocked over 40,000 doors in Iowa, thousands in New Hampshire, and we're gearing up in South Carolina and Nevada, and that will just keep growing.
Donald Trump does remain the front runner in early primary polling, his campaign announcing he will travel to Iowa this week as well. Meanwhile, for someone who makes so many headlines these days, it's easy to forget that not too long ago, Ron DeSantis was a complete unknown, a local who came from very humble beginnings in his hometown of Dunedin. Who is the man behind the podium, the human behind the politician? While much has been written about Ron DeSantis, the governor, his life before the national spotlight is lesser known. The roots of Ron DeSantis can be traced here to his hometown of Dunedin, here to this baseball field off Harvard Avenue. Before he graduated from Harvard, he played Little League in these fields. And now he wants to play in a different field, in the big leagues of politics, from Dunedin all the way to D.C. This is where Ron DeSantis graduated high school in 1997, Dunedin High on Pinehurst Road. And this is the neighborhood he grew up in. We actually found his childhood home. It's down that way. We're not going to show it to you out of respect for the family's privacy, but we did speak to a woman who appeared to be Ron DeSantis' mother, and she was out just doing yard work.
Everybody just called him D.
Greg Nicols coached Ron DeSantis on the high school baseball team. He says back then the governor was simply known as D. He played first base, batting in the middle of the lineup. As for any indication of his future in politics, Coach Nicols says he knew D was destined for something.
He was very driven, worked hard, just knew that his success came from his hard work, and he was willing to do that. And ever since his Little League team made it to the Little League World Series, you know, that was just the beginning for him.
Meanwhile, in downtown Dunedin, we asked residents what they think of Governor Ron DeSantis and the prospect of one of Dunedin's native sons becoming president. Their views were as mixed and divided as the country he wants to run.
It's certainly an interesting prospect. I like the governor. I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet.
What do you think of the governor perhaps being president?
Well, I don't care for the way he's running politics in Florida or policy in Florida.
The thing about Governor DeSantis is he's answering to the people. He's giving the people what they want.
I definitely disagree at his stance on abortion.
It's always healthy to air things out.
No matter how the politics shakes out, his hometown is about to get a dose of the national spotlight. Ron DeSantis, a Dunedin kid who's now the governor of his home state and aiming to be the first Florida president.